Today is Flag Day 2015, the day for our garden tour for the Down to Earth Organic Garden Club. So we're going to give them a tour of the Itsy Farm. And of course the Red Barn is a highly visible landmark. And being Flag Day, we've got a flag out. This is the experimental garden, and you can see that we've weeded and tilled, and it looks nice and clean. And we've cut all the grass. But it looks good. We've weed-eated around here and tried to make it a little presentable. And the big red barn is complete except for some caulking. I've got to do some trim on the back doors here. Here's our asparagus beds. And we planted 2 rows with interspersed corn and green beans so that the green beans can climb up the corn as it grows. And they popped out of the ground right away. I think 3 days they were up. And we'll probably come over here and plant 2 more rows so that they'll be about 2.5, 3 weeks apart. This was going to be the fruit tree area, going back about maybe 100 feet beyond the edge of the bushes you see there. I was going to clear that out. But right now all we have is a lone peach tree. Armadillos or something were trying to dig up at the roots, so I put some more compost around it and some mulch. Maybe it'll stop that. But it's healthy. Because of my heart surgery early in the year and the recovery period, we didn't get a chance to get plants ready to go in the hoop house. So right now the hoop house is just basically a dry storage area, and we'll put some fall crops in there later on, maybe end of July, August. But right now it's just a place to keep the tractor dry. And we've got some pretty nice tomatoes here. We're going to take Navajo Pa's recommendation and not sucker these this year. There's a pretty big plant right there with lots of suckers on it, and we're going to leave them alone and try and contain them to the cages, but we're not going to sucker them. And we'll see if we actually get a little bit better crop. We normally sucker them and have a single stem or 2 stems. Right now all we're doing is cutting the bottom leaves to keep the bottom leaves from touching the ground. We have several banana pepper plants, but this is the one that's produced the most. These are sweet bananas, and they are wonderful. Sweet is the right word. These are our potatoes. We have some Yukon Gold, some other russet potatoes in there. We've already pulled our red potatoes, but we've already picked probably 8 pounds of red potatoes from here, Pontiac Reds. We've got 3 rows of carrots here. We've already pulled the radishes out. We sowed carrots and radishes together so that the radishes, we could actually have some production while the carrots were growing. This is garlic. There's a couple of rows right here and then a piece of a row right here. We've already pulled the onions. We had 3 rows of onions out here, so we pulled all the onions. That's what the bare spots are. And Cheryl's come back now, and even though it's too late to do it, she wanted to plant some watermelons, so we got 3 hills of watermelons here. I guess we'll have watermelons at Thanksgiving. That's a joke. Our compost bins are looking pretty good. One lesson that I learned: don't put a pallet under the compost. Just let the compost be on the ground. What a dumb move that was on my part. This is Cheryl's butterfly bush, part of our pollinator grant that we have from the USDA. It has gone crazy. Here is the beginning of our blueberry orchard. I think we have 18 plants right now, and we've already picked probably 1.5 quarts or 2 quarts of blueberries off of them, and there's still a lot more blueberries there. These are our net cages to keep the birds from getting them, so we can have them, and they work real well, and we can use them year after year. They look kind of funky, but after the berries are all gone, we'll take them out, take them apart, they're not glued together, and store them in the barn. We had a little windstorm earlier in the season, and it completely destroyed our little mini greenhouse that we bought. I don't remember where we got this. Harbor Freight sells them, but we bought this from somewhere else online. The wind caught it, and it's salvageable, but I've got to do a lot of TLC to put some dowels in there and so forth. It is flimsy. These will be the first 2 rows of blackberries. I think there's 22 plants along that first row. They're all Natchez blackberries, and they're all surviving, every single one of them. But you can see the rows where the blackberries are going to be. I'm trying to follow the technique of TP2, Texas Prepper 2, using T-post and just electric fence wire. We'll see how that works. This is kind of surveying most of the Itsy Farm. The blueberries, the barn, the experimental garden, the regular garden, the hoop house. And if we do decide to have a grape arbor, we might put a couple of rows right here between the hoop house and these bushes on the left-hand side.
You guys are so cool. Well, we just haven't, you know, his parents have taken a lot of effort, too. Not just losing my parents, but, you know, his parents too. That's what I thought home out of. We have water over here. Everybody wants water. I've got some over in the car.
Carl, are you done? 26 hours ago. I got to stop and take a nap.
I appreciate all you folks coming. Well, everybody seems to be leaving now. Be careful. I'll see you at the next stop. It's like a football game. Everybody leaving at the same time.